Hello, everybody. Alexander Gill here. Hope you're keeping well and being kind to yourself and learning as much as you can in this time. It looks like some crazy things are going on out there, but concentrate on your world. Make sure your world's great. So, this week I'm going to be chatting about attitude. So, I've read a great book. So, I'm going to be talking about some steps on how you can improve your attitude. So, feel free to take notes on that, as well as sharing some stories. So, Abraham Lincoln once said that most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Now, if you think about that, you can actually act your way into feeling. So, I've done another talk on self talk, so check that out and you can see the multiple layers of how belief system affects attitude and then that attaches to feelings and then obviously actions from there. But with all of that, you can a scenario every time you go to the gym, sometimes you don't feel like going to the gym, but your discipline is your motivation, so then you end up going. But you feel great afterwards. So taking that into consideration, where can this be replicatable in any other aspect of your life? Charles Swindoll once said that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how you react to it. So, knowing the principle that we spoke about the other week from Urban Meyer's above the line that E plus R equals O. So, your event, which we can't handle, COVID event, plus your response, okay, I'm going to learn something, I'm going to adapt, is your outcome. A lot of people have this thing called destination disease or someone sickness, and I've been guilty of this. I'm like, oh, when I get this, I'm gonna feel that. When I do that, I will get there. But what I've really learned is you've just got to enjoy the journey. You just got to be yourself, be authentic to yourself, and know that you are the most important asset. And as we spoke about previously with the egg analogy, that too much pressure on top of the egg, outside everything coming, it crumbles, it cracks. Whereas if you grow from the inside out, the egg suddenly cracks out of its shell like a crab or a lobster. So what lies beneath us and what lies before us are tiny compared to what lies within us. So knowing this, you should really tap in to see your integrity, because integrity is key. It's no shows goes. It's being everything that's in part of you, and not what we do, but who we are. So living by your value system. And if you've not done your values, write down your values. If you don't know what your values are, check out your bank account, because that's probably where you most value, from alcohol consumption, entertainment to health, wellness. There's I can send out spreadsheets, and I've actually managed to find out how you can write comments on these. So if you'd love to see any subject, please do comment, please do subscribe or like or anything like that. Just because I've not seen any feedback in this time, so I don't know if this is helping anyone out there, but I hope it is. It's just what I've been learning. I would love us to reflect on that we are human beings. We don't always know what we are, so don't always be stressed on human doing. Like, we're human beings, not human doings. So how can we handle our feelings? Often I can do another talk on this, but like, your attitude is what exemplifies the feelings. So we can't sometimes, we have down days, we have all of this thing, we're human beings, but it's your attitude that actually gets you out of this, and it can keep our feeling from stopping us. So you are responsible for your attitude. You're probably listening to this, and you're a grown adult. Like, you are responsible. When people say, "Oh, you make me so mad," you make me this. You're just like, you are not accountable for your own emotions. You are so unemotionally aware that you need to start learning some of this sort of stuff, because no one can make you feel anything, because it's your own attitude that makes you feel that way. So really tap in. So there's also the 4 stages of conscious learning. I can do another talk on. I won't have time today, but as reflecting on the attitude, another part of this is belief system does come into that I can do another talk on. But if you take back to 1952, Roger Bannister, no one had ran the 4 minute mile. And then what was this guy's attitude? He's gonna do it. And what did he do? He did it. No one had ever done it. People used to drink tiger's blood to try and run that quick. Like, this is how we go so far back. And like 1950, 54, sorry, it's not too far away, but if you take into consideration how much humanity has evolved in this time, we used to publicly behead people in the past 100 years. We sold people as slaves. This is me talking as a human being, because we're all part of the one race, the human race, and we're all humans. So it's quite interesting to hear that in that year, 37 people then managed to do it, and then the year after, 300 did it. So what was their attitude? The 6 steps to share are, so to improve your work on your attitude. Are the first one is to identify the problem feelings. So identify it, locate it, name it, color it. There's many other techniques that you can do in there, but then identify the problem behaviors. So when you've got those feelings, would you grab a chocolate bar? Would you binge watch? Would you do something else? Because as a human, the law of the least effort will always go to whatever is comfortable. And so, unfortunately, the comfort zone isn't the growth zone. So you can't be comfortable and growing at the same time. And I mean, if entertainment's your value and you want to be an entertainment champion and the most prestigious status on Call of Duty, I used to love Call of Duty and gaming and everything like that. That I would introduce myself. Hey, I'm a soldier on Call of Duty. This is my profession. So, like, think into consideration what your real world is. Are you a human being? So, once you've identified your problem feelings, you've identified your problem behaviors, identify your problem thinking. Now, you can't go too deep sometimes. I'm doing a lot of work on this neurotransmitters, but just knowing like that problem thinking, then identify the right thinking. So how should you work towards this? And again, I've done another talk on self-talk or growth mindset, fixed minded. Check out those and you can work on some of these. And then the 5th stage is to make a public commitment to the right thinking. So you can have accountability partners, you can have peak performance partners, all of these. And then the 6th stage is to develop a plan for high thinking. So taking all of this into consideration, there are emotional triggers you can have, like from songs to photos, but just be aware of your attitude, because stinking thinking does not get you anywhere. And I've been there, the best of us. I've been so in my own head. I've been so destination diseased up to the nines that it doesn't get you anywhere. And this is coming from a guy who's got these tests that are my testimony. So please trust me that you can do anything and you can change. Your brain is a tool at the end of the day. So it's the mindset that you create and you work on that exemplifies you. So what do you want to achieve? Do you know your values? Do you know what your attitude are? Are you even consciously aware of some of your daily habits? So I'd love you to build hope. That knowing that you can achieve anything. There's so many stories we could reflect on there, but you be the most authentic you and reflect on your integrity. So knowing who you are, as well as having a great attitude, because you've got to check up from the neck up. How are you facing the day? Because no matter what you think about your attitude, it shows on your face. And this is quite funny because I love smiling at people sometimes. That you just know that grumpy, like, oh. But at the same time, you've just got to share light around the world. But know that whatever your attitude is, it actually comes out. So if you ever have a chance in the day, just crack a smile on. And it's funny because the endorphins are released. So you're like, okay, great. This is even, when I meditate, I'd smile because it exemplifies all of these things. So, yeah, and just wrapping up, I'd love to read this excerpt out to you. So, we cannot choose how many years we live, but we can choose how much life those years will have. We cannot control the beauty of our face, but we can control the expression on it. We cannot control life's difficult moments, but we can choose to make life less difficult. We cannot control the negative atmosphere of the world, but we can control the atmosphere of our minds. Too often, we try to choose to control things we cannot. Too seldom we choose to control what we can, our attitude. So take a notch, and not a notch, but take consideration of what your attitude is. Mahatma Gandhi said that he will never let anyone walk through his mind with dirty feet. You might be triggered by certain things, but taking this excerpt from John Maxwell, you've only got a certain amount of years on this planet. You may as well make them the best years you can, and that's by having a gratitude attitude. So I hope this has helped someone out there. I've had a great time. Yeah, please write any questions in. I've managed to work out the comment box, so if there's anything you'd love to see, I'm still reading a book a week, still smashing the personal development, just because I want to obviously up my own life. So yeah, reach out any questions or if you want any material or anything like that. Cheers.